Howdy, guys! And yesterday I just watched the kind of the unboxing live on the Radio City Music Hall in New York. The Samsung Galaxy S4, of course, was released, and I'm going to try to run it as quickly as possible. And now I'm going to go ahead and tell you some of the features, and then my thoughts about the phone and everything else. Of course, they increased the screen size to 5 inches. It's still HD AMOLED. 441 ppi, pixels per inch. Still use the polycarbonate shell, of course. Using new AC wireless system. 13 megapixel camera. Rear camera of 2 megapixels. The previous S3 was 8 megapixels. Uses a new IR infrared sensor for use in televisions and other devices. Supposedly uses a temperature humidity sensor, something like that. The battery increased by 30%. Now, it didn't mention anything about the processors used, and I had to really kind of look for that for myself. Of course, I've heard some of the rumors already. Supposedly, it depends on your cellular carrier and or where you're located in. It seems like it uses 2 different ones. One is a 4-core processor. The other one's an 8-core processor. And okay, let me tell you some of the software features, which is quite a few. With the camera, I was kind of impressed with some of these features. A dual camera system, forward and back. While you're taking with the rear camera group pictures, the front camera, you can take a picture of yourself and superimpose it in the photograph. Kind of cool. This one I kind of like, which is called Drama Shot, where you can take 100 shots or pictures in 4 seconds for like fast action, sports, so forth. And they also utilize newer technology, Smart Scroll and Smart Pause. Tracking your eyeballs, you can look up and down. It would scroll automatically. When you look away from the phone, it would pause the video. And there's several other things in here. Like I said, I'm probably not going to go through everything. Okay. Also, it had something called air gesture, where without having to touch the phone, you can move your hand in front of the camera and it would scroll without touching. Like I said, kind of when we first watched when it first started, the whole thing was kind of, I didn't like the presentation. They're trying to make it like a Broadway musical the whole time. And as a tech reviewer enthusiast, I just want to get the basic information and leave that for another time when I actually want to watch that. Well, anyway, these are some of my thoughts on the new features, functions. The 13 megapixel camera, I mean, yes, it's great. Sometimes it's not always about the megapixels. There's other things you could do to the camera to make it a better quality picture, better lens system, autofocus, and things like that. Memory is DDR3, 2 gigabytes RAM. I forgot to add that in there. With the Smart Scroll and the Smart Pause, now supposedly this is not a Samsung patented innovation type of thing. This is actually by a third party that actually will make it available for other phone platforms like iOS and Windows 8, from what I understand and read. And another thing is, it's some of the reviewers say it's not very accurate. It doesn't work very well. And of course, that's something that can be improved upon in future revisions. And another thing with the Smart Scroll and or Smart Pause, I'm kind of wondering if it uses the front camera, or excuse me, the back rear camera. If they utilizes that so it can track your eye movements, and what's that going to do on battery life while you're scrolling? That's kind of one of my concerns. Another concern is the type of processor you're using, especially 8-core. The 4-core is fine in that type of phone. 8-core processor is really way overdoing it to me. And because you got to think of battery life again. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the cores are going to be turned off or an idle. when not being needed, but still, is it really worth being that much faster for really bad battery life? Yes, the battery is replaceable, but according to a lot of the reviewers and myself, I think it's really just a basic spec bump and some new software features. Nothing, stupendous, great must-have type of phone, and it's very similar to what Apple did with their iPhone 4, and they bumped it up to iPhone 4S. Just some basic hardware improvements with new software features. To me, this is pretty much the same thing. And this kind of goes to me, going a little bit off topic, is, I think ever since, Apple came out with the original iPhone, it's started bumping up innovation in more powerful phone systems. Now they expect every year to, quite too much, because for technology, it takes a while. There's only so much you can really do with a phone at one time. Now, here in the near future, they could have something integrate wireless charging or something and take off again. But don't expect a tri-flux capacitor, bending of light, time, and space, and wormholes. I think that's a little bit too much for any new technology. But there are some of my thoughts on the new Samsung S4.